Hello, good night. I'm going to present you one of the demos we are going to present in the talk about ChatGPT for developers in Kobe. So this is simple. The idea is that in Kobe we have decided to create a new back office team because our company has scaled up and we need to start focusing in creating a back office by a different team. So as you know, we're going to use Retool for the front end and part of the logic that normally is in the backend, and we are to read our data from the API. So we are going to interact with the backend with using APIs, and sometimes we are reading in read-only mode from MongoDB. So the goal is to create the APIs that Retool is going to use in this new team. So right now we are using our backend, but with this new team, the idea is to create a first proof of concept to try to find the best approach for creating APIs that normally is pretty quick to implement APIs for the back office. So let's try to use ChatGPT to create this new project. So first step, we want to create a REST API for back office. For back office using, in a first approach, TypeScript with Express and also with an hexagonal architecture. Vale. Entonces, so let's ask ChatGPT if could you provide a basic project for implementing an API REST for back office using TypeScript with Express with an architecture. Let's try it. And these kind of questions are, for example, ChatGPT says sure, it can do that. And first he poses the project folder structures, and normally after that, it also proposes us some of samples of the different parts of the application with real code. For example, here is a brief overview. What is folder and file responsible for? That is the traditional external architecture proposal. Okay, with this answer, we can start extracting this proposal and creating our first approach for this application. Normally, the code that ChatGPT generates, mostly it just works. So, but sometimes you need to do adjustments for the application to start working as expected. So, in this case, he is proposing the different files, the TypeScript configuration, dependencies, the environment configuration. So it's a really a real application for doing that. The different files. Okay, he has ChatGPT has stopped here because the response is pretty long and it is expensive. So it waits until you ask for more information about the response. But then imagine that, for example, in this new team, we have experience also with the Go language, and we want to create a prototype also using Go. Entonces, then let's try to get this Go version using ChatGPT. Could you provide the same project in Go? And then ChatGPT answers with a proposal for this project using Go. So pretty nice. And we can, for example, if we want to also to create 3 prototypes in different languages because we are exploring the best approach, we can also, for example, use Python for it. And as you can see, ChatGPT is selecting automatically some of the basic technologies, for example, for the web framework and other parts of the application. And he's now creating the Python version. So if we want to create a proof of concept comparing an API working, for example, with our data repositories, but offering new APIs that are created in a more quick way because they are simpler, because they are for the back office, this is something really useful. So also, it's creating all of that. We can also please provide also the Docker file for deploying the application. And he creates a Docker file for the project. So with this Docker file, we can create a Docker image for our project, and we can deploy it using containers. So that's great. And for example, he is explaining us some of the things, some of the decisions in this ChatGPT has made. For example, using the lightweight Alpine-based Python 3.9 image is one. In other examples, ChatGPT proposed using the Python Slim version. So I'm not sure why sometimes use a base image and sometimes uses another base image. So you can see that you need that after getting this work from ChatGPT, you need the developer that takes all this work and then do some modification for creating the final thing to be used for the project. Also, for example, you can create not only the Docker file with the containers, but also, for example, imagine that you are going to deploy it in using Terraform. Could you provide the Terraform code to deploy it? For example, imagine that we want to use EC2 from AWS, to put it in EC2 in AWS, and then he created a Terraform code to do that. So this is wonderful, and not only that. For example, you can continue doing this kind of conversation with ChatGPT, and in 5 minutes you have a complete first proof of concept, mostly completed, and you need to start working from this starting point, and you are saving a lot of time with this step. Just as a few final question for ChatGPT, could you provide the cost of using EC2 in AWS? And then, for example, you can also think about the cost of deploying the application in AWS, and ChatGPT is going to provide you some numbers. And if you start creating a more detailed conversation with it, you can create a budget spreadsheet with the cost of your application. So you can see this is a pretty quick and high-level introduction of the kind of things that ChatGPT can do for us. So it's a new tool that we need to start understanding all the possibilities to start being more productive. That's all.